And we're live. Drip, you look a little different today. Feeling all right?
Yeah, I ate a little too much during the week or something.
Your beard is extra long. It looks a little bit like Jeff's beard.
It is. It is Jeff's beard.
Wait a minute. That's Jeff Troidvaney over there. What's up, man?
Oh, not a lot. Just all I've been doing is waiting for Steam Machine news. But that's its own topic.
Man, you're filling in tonight, which we appreciate. Last second, I do want to have you back on soonish, next month or two or so, just to talk about that situation, because I'm fascinated by it. I don't think Drip cares that much about it, but I know you and I could talk about that for a bit, and you can tell me a little bit about your thoughts now in the pre-show if you like.
I just, I want to know something. I'm just like, anything. Like they threw that out there months ago, and then now they're like, yeah, well, we got to rethink it. It's like, I didn't want to know. I'm not being so unreasonable about it. I'm not like the person. It was like January 3rd, and someone commented on one of their posts saying like, hey, why haven't we heard anything yet? And it's like, yeah, early 2026. And there's people out there that are like, yeah, early 2026 is before January 15th. And it's like, what? That's like, it feels insane.
Good.
But I was gonna say, I feel like I would give, if you call something early in the year, I'd say May at the latest. Like after May, you're in the middle of the year, and then you're at the end of the year. So like, some people are saying it could be the first 6 months, which is fine. But I want to know. Just want to know.
I agree with you there, man. What'd you say?
The comment in the chat, Joey. Geeb is dripless.
Yes, Geeb is dripless, but he is. Excuse me, I'm burping. He is not Jeffless. I'll tell you that much. I appreciate Jeff being here, and I'm gonna shout out. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna shout out Podtroidvania. Actually, wait, no, I forgot. Hold on. There we go. Podtroidvania. Guys, make sure to go follow Podtroidvania on YouTube. It's a wee lad of a show, although it is. You said that you used to do this at a different time with somebody else, I believe, and then it went away, and now it's rebooted now.
Yeah, it didn't have a very long run. It had like 9 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And it was so inconsistent. I think when I had first talked about it, I was like, oh, my friend has, he had a kid. I'm like, no, like I met him 5 years ago and he had a kid then. It wasn't like, that's not the reason. It's just like having a kid, having a family,
Yeah.
It was hard to consistently have a time of the week to record something. And so like we'd have one, and then like a month would go by, and then we'd have one and one the next week, and then like, so it was rough.
Yeah, man.
But
it's a hard commitment to make, to do anything that we do, especially because like it, for most of us, it doesn't pay off, right? I mean, financially. I mean, it maybe pays off in other ways that is not monetary, but that's kind of a big deal in adult life, is making money. If you're spending your time doing more things that don't make you money, it makes adult life harder. So again, and in his case, having a kid, I mean, like, he probably just don't got the time. He has a family, So like, I totally understand that stuff. It's a tough gig to be able to do this stuff. So I try to make the best of it while it still lasts. Like, you never know when we're just gonna like quit, It can happen at any time. Or at the very least, you never know when the show's just gonna, whatever content you're making, in this case our show, like when it's gonna like change big time, and like, episodes reduce or things, so Drip leaves. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. He's not leaving the show. He's just not available tonight.
You said it was like you were really upset that he left.
I know. I said that. And I'm like, wait, I shouldn't say that. That has nothing to do with tonight. Just to be clear, because he's not here. Anyway, or I leave for that matter. I mean, there's lots of change going on with me this year. I don't have no plans on leaving, but there's tons of things happening in my life personally. So, what is up, Jeff? What is up, Joe? Up, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. What is up, Joey? What's up, Megaboyd? I'm used to say hi to you because you're usually here in the chat. Question for the folks in the chat, just to make sure that I'm not crazy. Jeff's audio and video is synced up, right? It's not like crazy delayed or anything because it looks good to me, but just want to make sure that I'm not missing something because that's a possibility. Just let me know at your earliest convenience. Thank you very much. I didn't get to watch a lot of your, or listen a lot of your latest episode, but how was that? How was your guest, the creator of Lucid? How was that?
It was a great conversation. I had an awesome time. I hope that future episodes just keep getting better,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he gets it. Like when it comes to a lot of stuff, like he's just a very insightful person.
Yeah.
And he wasn't shy about like opening up and just like talking about his life and stuff. So like it was, if you haven't listened to it, highly recommend it. I mean, obviously because it's my show, but it was also a really good episode. It was also very good. And I remember like ending that and like getting to like, I went and edited it, the way I do it. I have it cut back and forth. If I have something where I like one person talks for a certain length, I like cut to them. And so I'm like actively re-listening to the whole conversation again. It was just so cool to get to listen to it one more whole time. And then I went back and made clips. So I got like some of the best clips out of it. I got some clips from ours too. I put them up there to get some more visibility. But yeah, it's just, it is a little bit hard for a brand new YouTube channel to expect new people to watch hour-long episodes. It's hard to hard to expect anybody to watch an hour-long episode of anything.
I do know that. Drip and I were very lucky because we started this show in the middle of COVID, and right before and during and after the show, for a couple of years, we were streaming a lot outside of the podcast. Like I on my Twitch, him on his Twitch and YouTube on occasion, and we just had a live audience. This show's was built on being live and off the backbone of the live viewers, right? So like we never had anything crazy at the beginning, but we had like 10 people normally hanging out talking in the chat at any given time, which was sometimes less, sometimes more. But it was really helpful to have that and start with that backbone. Like you're kind of starting essentially with no backbone. I mean, you have a YouTube channel, but it's not a podcast, and it's quite different content than what you normally make. So there's really no, conversion of that audience to that. So you are basically starting fresh, and it's very difficult to do that. Like I said, we were very lucky not to go through that, but even still, it still wasn't easy to, only having 5 or 10 people at a time in a live chat, and audio was fresh. There's no, the live people weren't necessarily going over to the audio. They were mainly there to hear us babble live stream talk. Like just normal. They weren't going to check our live stream out or our audio out. So yeah, that was the whole thing. Yeah, Megboyd, you were there. You're one of the OGs, man. Appreciate you. Drip is not fired again. He is not. I'm not saying he's fired tonight. He's not fired. I already made it sound like he's leaving the show already.
Yeah, we're not saying he's fired.
We're not saying he's fired. Yeah. No, he's not available tonight. It's just a conflict. He's boycotting. Drip is boycotting the show until 3D Mario comes out. Speaking of which, that is what.
Good luck.
Yeah, that is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the lack of direct. I'll probably talk about that last. First up, we'll talk about the Bloomberg article that came out talking about the Switch 2. I got some things to say about that. Just something. I will get there. And then Pocopia stuff I want to talk about just for a minute because I think that's interesting and funny. Yeah. That's what we're doing. And Jeff is here instead of Drip. I like it better that way anyway. Jeff, me and Jeff, we're spirit animals together. Yep. Yeah, so And Mega Boy, by the way, don't mess with me like that. Don't mess, because I was starting to have a mini panic. Because I'm like, he looks fine. I can't change anything. He looks fine, sounds fine. But yeah, you look fine and sound fine, as far as I can tell. If you want to look at the, if you want to look at the feed, and tell me if it looks different than what you were seeing, because it's bang on to me. But probably just Discord being Discord. That happens a lot these days.
Yeah, I can't tell. I mean, the live stream itself is also like, I mean, the live stream is delayed. That's just how that works. But in Discord for me, it's like a 2-second delay. But it could be Discord. I mean, we got thousands of people.
Promise you,
canceling Nitro. They probably don't have the money for the servers.
Yeah, right.
To make it run well.
I promise you, there's no 2 second. I'm looking at the feed from Studio. I mean, your words and your mouth are perfect. Like it's perfect.
Thank you.
So, you're also perfect.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's okay. Megboy, it's fine, man. It's fine. Yeah. Just make fun of my face, you know. Tell me how ugly I am. The things that don't matter. Yeah. I had my first couple days of work this week. New job. It was training. I passed my tests, which I was nervous about because I'm not a test taker, not a good book learner type, you know, not for me. School's not for me, but I passed it easily, luckily, easily. It's an open book. So, although the funny thing is I didn't use any of the notes that I took. That's how I kind of was in school. I'm not sure if there's other people like that out there, but like, notes don't help me, but you know, it does help me writing notes, if that makes any sense. I don't go back and read my notes. In fact, it makes it worse because my handwriting is chicken scratch and I don't know how to form a notebook and for the life of me, right? It would be helpful anyway if I were to try to read it. But it is helpful to write it down because it's almost like it's branding into my brain a bit, even if it's temporary, just to be able to write that down is like remember writing down the things that matter. It kind of helps me remember, but that's just me.
It's kind of like a repetition, right? You hear it, you see it, you write it. So instead of getting the information once, you're technically getting the information 3 different times. Really kind of helps it stick in there.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a better way to do it, even for someone like me. But it didn't matter that much. We're talking like easy questions here. It's like multiple choice or it's like true or false. Amazon delivery vehicles should run over customers if they piss you off. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's common sense stuff. Any bugs there tonight? What kind of bugs? Oh, Ed Chang, no, you're just in time.
I don't have one. I don't I mean, no offense to anybody, I don't drink any alcohol during the week.
That's fine. I'll probably be right there with you. Honestly, I might stop drinking during the podcast because I'll probably be, unless it's in the middle of my off days, like I probably won't be drinking. I don't like to drink and then wake up early. Even if I'm not drinking much, if I'm just drinking a can, like I just don't like it. As it reminded me, I almost forgot I had beer. Yeah, I still don't know my schedule, which is annoying. So I'll mention that too. I was planning on doing this with Drip tonight, but obviously he's not here, but we'll just do it with Jeff. I am not sure if the podcast night's changing. Tonight, it's on Thursday for a couple reasons. One, I did want to give it just one more day to see if the dude, the leaker guy, who's not a leaker, was right. I knew it was unlikely anyway. I just want to give him one more day, but also, potentially, if I get my way, Thursdays will be podcast night. It will be changing to Thursdays. Just the way the schedule has to work out with the new job, what they're requiring of me, what works best with my personal life and with making videos and editing and stuff. Just seems like Thursday, if I get my way, will be the new night. So just FYI. So tonight's Thursday, and next week also might be Thursday. It depends. We'll see what happens. It's annoying because I still don't know my schedule. I won't know until Monday. But by next week, we will know what my schedule is, and I'll make an announcement in the Discord and in the podcast feed as well. I'll put it up in there, like what the it's changing to, if it's changing at all. It might not change. I don't know. We'll just have to see. It has to work well with my work schedule, my personal life, and this show. So, yeah. Sons of Guns out. I don't think I'm gonna be getting guns out this year unless I start lifting weights like now, because I tell you, ain't no guns right now. We got. What's the opposite of a gun? I mean, I got gun holsters. I could probably holster a gun in my fat on my arms. I mean, that's a possibility. But no, we don't got the guns right now. Although I guess I'll be getting guns pretty soon. I was telling Abby too, like I just bought pants for the wedding, and I'm bigger right now, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna be losing some weight here pretty soon because of the new job. I'll be snacking less. That's my issues. I snack too much, so I'll probably be snacking less, and I'll be eating less generally because I'll just be out working, and I'll be working a physical job. So I feel like I'm probably gonna be losing some weight here pretty soon. So I'm actually a little worried that I gotta get new pants again. I don't think I'll have to. I'll probably just like tighten the belt,
Yeah.
If I have to. A good problem to have. I'm looking forward to maybe losing weight again. COVID's been not COVID. Last few years have been evil to me. My whole life has been an issue, Jeff. We want to do therapy tonight?
I'm not licensed for this, but we can do whatever you want, man.
Yeah. So you try that? Not a lager fan. I am also not a lager fan. Ed, I think the only lager I ever drink is Yingling. It's probably the least lagery lager you're gonna get. It's still a lager, but it's not like heavy. When I see lager, I think heavy. I think thick. This is not heavy or thick. This is neither of those things. This is just right. It's a good beer. It's the best
one I usually go for if I'm at a place that I have not ordered beer at yet, and I don't know what they have, and I don't want to like make the server tell me the entire beer list if it's not available like on paper. I just say, "Do you have Yingling?" Yeah, okay, cool. Most likely they do.
Yep, that is
solid choice.
Essentially, what growing up in Pennsylvania, that's like the. Not that I was drinking growing up, but you know what I mean. Like living in Pennsylvania when you're ordering beer.
As a 10-year-old child in Pennsylvania, when you go to the bar, they give you a Yingling. It's just
that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's like the go-to. If you don't know what else to get, you get the Yingling. It's the easy, safe choice. The way I like to put it too, it's the best of the crap. It's still in that category of like the crap beer. Right before you get to craft beer, right? But it's the very top of the crap with a P. Yeah, you could do a lot worse than Yingling. Excuse me. Anything exciting going on, Jeff? I know you're playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds on the Steam Deck. Anything else exciting or that?
It's just been a lot of that. My job as an IT technician has got me burnt out, so I've just been on my free time just playing Monster Hunter and doing like the regular everyday life things, and it's actually kind of funny because I've played like 70 hours of Monster Hunter in like the past like 3 weeks, which feels insane to me. Also the fact that it hasn't
70 hours in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That is a lot. I mean, that's
like
a lot.
Or like a month. Maybe a month. Maybe.
Even still, that's a lot. I'm familiar with that type of binging of video games, and that doesn't happen often for me, but when it does, it's like, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's been fun, though. I've always loved Monster Hunter, and I want to play online, but I'm concerned the Steam Deck might not do well with 3 other players.
Yeah,
and that might be a good test. I actually did record some footage using the Steam Deck's like built-in, like because Steam put out an update that you could do recording on the system directly.
Yeah.
So I actually ran the recording and played a little, and it didn't really impact the actual like frame rate and stuff. So I wonder if maybe online play will be okay. But I know that like you'll get a hunt like Ray Dow in like what do you call it? Whatever the season is where it's like lightning all the time, and then you'll be out in like the middle of the open area, and it dumps the frame. Like it is a slideshow.
Yeah.
When you get there.
I mean, honestly, it's lagging on the PS5. Like it's lagging the PS5 in that area.
It was on the Xbox too, but I mean I can't even remember the last time I played it on Xbox. It's been months. But
what's an Xbox?
Shame that they had to go ahead and double the price of Game Pass, the cheapest Game Pass.
Did they do it again?
No, they did it like November. Like
that's what I remember.
When they raised everything.
Yeah.
So it used to be that you could pay for a year, so that it was Xbox Live. It was $60 a year. It had always been, and then it was Game Pass Core, so you could still pay for the year. It was still $60, but now it's Game Pass Essential, and you have to either pay monthly or pay for 3 months, and no matter what, it all adds up to $120 a year. And I'm like, for $120 a year, that's the price. I mean, around the price of 2 new AAA games, right? Every year just to play Monster Hunter like a dozen times, like it wasn't worth it. So I'm like, so I bought it on Steam, and I bought Monster Hunter on Fanatical. It was like $32, which I felt like was a crazy deal, so I had to buy it. And then I'm like, I'm gonna wait to play it. I bought it in anticipation for the Steam Deck or the Steam machine, and it popped up on my Steam Deck to install. I'm like, why not? Worst case scenario, it just doesn't run. Right. 70 hours later, I'm still playing on Steam Deck.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I know at the beginning when it launched, it was not Steam Deck compatible, did not play well, was terrible.
No, the frame rate would drop when you went through different menu items.
Dude, for me, it wouldn't even load the game. It loaded the game at a success rate about 10%. I mean, and before it loaded, it had to render shaders. So I sat there for a minute, maybe 2 minutes, rendering shaders to watch it fail, and then do it again. Render shaders, crash. Render shaders, crash. I made like 10% of the time, maybe 25% at most. You know, like just on occasion, it would actually get through, and when it would actually get through, the sequence would start at the beginning of the game, and then it was just like 11 frames per second at best, and every texture was terrible. It was bad. It was real bad. Yeah,
it was. I remember the first time it processed it rendered all the shaders. That process took somewhere between half an hour and an hour. I forget exactly how much time, but it was maybe like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
that should not happen. Now if I restart the system or anything and I have to load the game from scratch, it is maybe 45 seconds to render the shaders,
which is still a long time, but that's not bad.
Still is, yeah. I mean, it's infinitely better than 45 minutes. But but then 45 minutes later, the background doesn't load. Most of the textures on the menu items don't load. Like the text is all weird, and you go in between the menu items, and the game's like, "Kill me!" Like,
yeah,
ridiculous. But I was actually shocked to find that it played well. And then a couple weeks ago, they released a performance patch, and after that, it was like way better, even better. So
that's great.
It's great. It's a good sign for when the Steam machine finally does come out, what the performance will be on that, you know?
Well, I mean, that's funny. That's what you're thinking about because that's what's on your mind. That's what you want. What I want is the port for Switch 2. That's what I really want. Yeah. And it's still a good sign for that.
Yes, I think it's a great sign for that. It's interesting too because what was I gonna say? So I'm not. If it does release on Switch 2, it's probably too late for me. I'm not gonna buy another copy. Right? There's no cross save or anything, so I would have to start a new character. I'm not gonna do that again. But I'd love to still see it released on Switch 2 because Monster Hunter for a very long time was only on Nintendo consoles. Yeah. And to see it come back to a Nintendo console would be awesome, and it'd be so many people who would love to play it and be able to play it in handheld. And the fact that it plays decent on the Steam Deck, it would play even better on Switch 2 if you could optimize it.
Just a few years ago, it was exclusive for a year. Monster Hunter Rise. I mean, just a few years ago. Last gen.
Yeah.
So like
Monster Hunter Monster Hunter 4 and 4 Ultimate, Monster Hunter, I think Generations or something Ultimate, like all of those games were only on Nintendo consoles. Like you could only play them on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Forever.
I think they're gonna figure it out, because if the Pragmata demo says anything about what Capcom can do on the Switch 2, I mean, like that Pragmata demo, if you haven't tried it yet, please try it. It's really good. It's a fun.
I'll check it out.
I got that game pre-ordered too. That's the 2 games I have pre-ordered right now. I have Pragmata pre-ordered. Cannot wait to play that. And I have Pocopia pre-ordered. I'll talk about that in the show. You can throw your fruit now. No, I can take it. Your veggies, hit the stage. But yeah, I'm very curious. I will be buying that. I only have it on PS5, and I wouldn't mind starting over again, playing the beginning of the game, going through the whole. That's the best part, in my opinion, from what I played. I didn't really get into the post game stuff, not because that wasn't good. I was done. I felt like I was done. I got a bunch of multiplayer in. I got like 40 hours of solo play, single player. I was kind of done. I was happy with that. And if the occasional, I was still doing the occasional run with some friends who wanted to play, who asked, but. Other than that, I was kind of done, and I am kind of getting the itch again. Yeah. I'm getting the Monster Hunter, scratching the neck, ready to do it again. So I wouldn't mind doing it again on Switch. And I also can't do it right now PS5 because I don't have online anymore because that's too much money. Way
too expensive. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to buying it again on Switch.
Yeah, they really should release it on Switch too. It makes total sense. That and So what I was going to say to what you were saying about what you've played of it, I think it's really funny is Monster Hunter has a gameplay loop that is so different than what most people are used to. Is because it's been the same for 20 years. The game plays like a regular game for a number of hours until you roll credits at the end. And that's the actual game is what comes after. The game that you play is the tutorial. You roll credits on the tutorial. The rest of the game is what comes after the tutorial because they add new monsters, they do title updates, they add expansions, they add like a ton of things. So it's funny that it's like a lot of people, especially reviewers, will play. They played the story, they beat the roll credits, and they're like, "That's it? That's a super short game. I don't know why people are so into this." It's like, you clearly, this is your first one because like that's how it is. Like you play the story to get accustomed to the way that the animations feel and like how you use the weapons, and then what comes after is the game.
And just I want to add too, this is still the pre-show, guys, just FYI. But I wanted to add to that. Another reason why I was done with it was I was a little burnt out on not the game, not burnt out on the gameplay. I was burnt out on the logistics of getting into matches of people. It is so aggravating. Just the way there's, I forget what all the names are now. I'm sure you could tell me, but like there's like the clans, and then there's friends, and then there's like lobbies, and then there's 3 different ways you can like group up with friends. Just simplify it. Why is it so complicated?
I've been saying this for a very long time. There's also 2 forms of single player. There's offline single player and online single player. And for the most part, there's no real difference other than online single player logs you in, and there's a daily bonus, and you could do there's like weekly challenges that you could do, but you have to be logged in to collect it. Like it still tracks it for you offline, but you have to be logged in.
Yeah.
And if you're playing and you put the game to sleep, it disconnects you, and then you have to go and talk to an NPC to reconnect you to the internet, which I don't think should happen. It should just do it when you load the game back up. It should say, "Hey, it disconnected. We're gonna try to reconnect you," and then you hit OK, and then it just tells you. Like it should not. I shouldn't have to go to talk to one. You have to talk to Alma, right? So you have to talk to that one NPC. Sometimes she gets up and starts walking around, and you're like, "Where the fuck is she? I want to connect to the internet to get my login bonus. Yeah. Where did she go?" Yeah. It's weird. And like I checked. So, have you ever seen I think you have. You've seen the Ron Funch's clips on like TikTok and stuff, where he's like he like just describes like what a game is like certain games. He like talks to like his wife or something.
If I have, I don't remember, and I also don't. I have TikTok. I don't ever open it, so I don't know. I don't really scroll the shorts. That's like a one vice I try to avoid myself from participating in. But I do see
my video that I know you did see, where he pretends to be the CEO of Xbox.
Okay. Yeah.
So he does these videos too, where he talks to, I want to say it's his wife or his girlfriend or something, but he describes a game, especially like a really weird game, like a game that's unconventional, like Death Stranding, right?
Yeah.
And he describes it, and when you hear it out loud and you try to think about the words he's saying out of context, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, he described Death Stranding, and he's like, yeah, you're Norman Reedus, and you save the world by walking to Mexico with the baby. And you're like, what? And then like you described Power Wash Simulator 2, and she was like, oh, so that means you're gonna get a real power washer and clean off the driveway. He's like, nope, I'm gonna be playing this for 12 hours. It's like man, like it's so funny. Games are so fucking weird, man. Yeah, Monster Hunter. I described the Monster Hunter online connectivity to Monica, and she was like, I think you're making all of this up. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not making any of this up. If you want to play with your friends, you can join a squad. And if you don't want to join a squad, you can add them to your friends list. But if you want to join the same games that they're joining, the same quests that they're joining, without having to join the quest manually, you have to join a link party. And if you want the link party to also have the same season and time of day, you have to join an environment link party, which is separate from the link party, which you have to do both. I wish I was making that up. It's like you said,
Capcom,
like 5 different ways to connect to a friend to play Monster Hunter.
Capcom, we got to talk.
It's been like this forever. It has not changed. This isn't like we're gonna try something new and it sucks. Like, it just never, like, it's funny for a game that has always been co-op multiplayer online. Like, even since the PlayStation 2 was co-op multiplayer online. It's never been good. But the gameplay, like once you get in and you start playing, like, yeah, it's fun. And you get more people with you, and you can like, yeah, it gets wild. No pun intended. Yeah, it's
good one. One more thing before we hop into the actual show, although we talked for a half hour. Oh, this works. I don't think today's show is gonna be very long anyway. I got these Joy-Con in the mail today. I showed Jeff already. I'm just gonna take them off here. Got these free production unit Nixie Hyperion 3s, the first Switch 2 Joy-Con, which is true. The third party Switch 2 Joy-Con. The world, according to their promotional material, the world's first. Like, make it sound really big and cool. I'm gonna the first impressions unboxing, quotations unboxing tomorrow. Obviously, I've already took them out. I'm not gonna fully review them yet. It's too early, but also the fact these are pre-production, there's actually some issues with them that they've already told me about, and there's one that I discovered on my own. And the funniest one is this issue. Black is very difficult to focus. There we go. You see that? What's that button say there, Jeff? If it'll focus again.
I cannot see. I'm looking at a very small box.
Okay,
on my
so
screen.
It says RZ instead of ZR, which I find very funny. They accidentally printed these pre-production units to say RZ instead of ZR, which is very funny. But yeah, gonna do a review of these tomorrow, or first impressions, not a review. And I'll do a full review on them if I get the full production units, because I cannot review these as is. That's one issue for sure. That's hard to review. It's like, how do I even, that's stupid, but I know that it's probably gonna be fixed in the full production. But a couple other things too, that it's like, I can't really review it like this, because it's like, I'll just say the sticks are a little messed up. Like if you watch 128KB's video, he talked about it too, where you move the stick in a circle and they kind of magnetize, no pun intended, because they're Hall effect, but they kind of magnetize to the axes. Like, they just kind of like, they get stuck there for a second. Like, you continue to move the stick, but they kind of get stuck on the axis. and they move again, and they get stuck on the other axis, and they move again. It's like weird. Like, that's unacceptable. But at the same time, it is acceptable for a pre-production. But if that happens on a retail unit, we got problems. So, but anyway, all that to say is, I'm excited for these. I'm more excited for mobile pads. But video should be out tomorrow. I'm gonna review it and edit it, record it and edit tomorrow. I posted that this video. Did you get a chance to check out the shell video yet, Jeff?
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, these things are cool. I like extreme. I've always liked extreme rate stuff, but the full transparent look I like a lot, and they did a good job with the shells this gen. Are you somebody who dabbles in that at all?
No, I swapped. I have a video of me swapping out a joystick from a Switch 1 Joy-Con, and that's as far as I'll go. I'm not the kind of person that would switch out the whole shell. I considered it for the Steam Deck because they had some cool ones.
I heard that's different.
And like the skins really only like do so much. Yeah, you have to like. It's like the shell is like part of it. It's like a turtle. Like you think like
yeah.
You think like most people think a turtle like lives inside the shell, but no, the shell is actually part of the turtle. It's the same thing with like Steam Deck.
Yeah.
It's right. I feel insane. This is such an absurd analogy here, but yeah, it's like
you're talking to the man.
It's kind of like
I'm a professional absurd analogy guy. Like, hello.
Yeah.
Speaking my love language.
So it's like the Switch Joy-Con was kind of the same way though. Like when you started to remove stuff, you had to like be careful because there were parts that were kind of connected to one side. They had to like pull a little ribbon cable to safely disconnect and like get into it. So yeah, it's like that with a lot of the stuff in it. So it's very complicated. Yeah. So if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, and if you don't have like a diagram on how to put everything back together, you could totally mess it up.
Yep, for sure. I did have Steam Deck for a time, and I considered doing the shell swap, but I just was like, I don't think I'm quite there yet. At that point, I'd never even like reshelled the switches back. Actually, no, I lied. I did do that. But I'm not comfortable with like taking out all that stuff. Like Joy-Cons are just a motherboard and some ribbon cables and screws, right? But like a computer is fans, heat pipes, seat sinks, the Lego connectors, antennas, it's a computer, a full jobby job. And I'm not quite there yet. I mean, I want to get there. I'm working my way there. I feel like the Joy-Con on the Switch 2 are this next step because those are like Joy-Con 1 steroids as far as reshelling. So I'll get there, but I'm still not quite there to do this like a Steam Deck type thing.
Yeah, I've been in IT for a very long time. 14 years in March.
Thank you for your service.
So thanks. So I've taken apart my fair share of laptops and stuff like that. So I'm not like skittish on that kind of stuff, but like I also know how involved it is. I remember one time, so at one point on a laptop, you remove the bezel around the outside of the screen, and at one point on a laptop, that's all you had to do is you popped off the plastic piece, and then there was a couple screws, and then you disconnect the ribbon cable and you pull the display out. It's not like that anymore because laptops are designed to be very thin, so they have to snake things through in the wildest ways to get everything to connect to the board on one side and the display. I swapped out a display for my father-in-law on his HP laptop. It took me hours because you had to take the computer completely apart to get the display.
Yeah.
So, not about to do that with certain things.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the closest thing I came to taking apart a full computer would be actually two things. I just thought of another thing. My Alienware Alpha I had back in the day, the old Steam machine. I did put a new hard drive, or I upgraded to an SSD, added more RAM. So I upgraded the CPU too. So I have done things like that. But that machine was really easy to work on. That machine was a sandwich. You flip it over, unscrew the screws, flip it back down, take off the top, and there's the sandwich. And it's all very easy. That was very easy. That was my first time ever opening an electronic like that. So that was the first time. and then the next closest thing that it's like a full computer would be like the right behind me there, the Wii U that actually has like a screen and does some processing. You know, that'd be the next closest thing to. I mean, I've done Game Boys, but we don't count those because there's just like a couple ribbon cables, a couple screws. You know, similar to I think a Joy-Con's more involved than a Game Boy. Anyway, let's stop babbling. Although this was great, it was a great babble. Honestly, I'm considering releasing this as its own little episode because it was fun. Oh. It was just 40 minutes of Geeb and Jeff riffing. That was fun. I think I'm gonna do that, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's actually start the real show now, if you don't mind, Jeff.
Of course.
Oh, and one reminder for the live chat, please, guys, if you have not already subscribed to Podtroidvania, I have pinned it in the chat. Make sure to go click that link and subscribe to Podtroidvania. Releases on the 15th of every month. I was on it. You should listen to it.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good episode.
It was. Right. Here we go. Welcome, everyone, to the Derby G Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with a guy who is not named Rip Media Gaming. Record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's become a member of this podcast. Get extra podcast content early. But not Drip, but Drill F. Drill F. Your name is Drill F. Jeff, thanks for coming on the show this week. You guys know Jeff. He's at this point a semi-regular guest on the show. We appreciate Jeff always bails me out when I need an extra host, and I'm very grateful and appreciative of him and his time. And of course, Monica, I'm very appreciative of your wife as well for letting me borrow you for a couple hours every now and again. So, Jeff, how you doing this week?
Doing okay. Just like my earbuds, one died. Just hanging on, I'm just kidding. I'm doing all right, playing a lot of, like we were talking about before, playing a lot of Monster Hunter, really getting really excited for stuff coming out this year. So far this year looks really good. Yeah, excited.
Yeah, I was just saying to the live chat here, I actually think I'm gonna post that like about 40 minutes 35-minute conversation we just had in the pre-show. It was a very good one. We were just riffing, just talking, hanging out, talking about Monster Hunter, talking about other random stuff, and it was good. Some Steam Deck, Steam Machine stuff. So I'm gonna release that as just like a unprompted, just 40 minutes of conversation to the audio feed, because why not? That was good.
Bonus.
A little bonus, exactly. A little bonus episode, a little nugget for you guys, just for audio. There's no visual to it besides your gorgeous beard and your lovely dog behind you on a pillow. So, you remember that one time you went boop and you poked her nose?
Yeah, yeah, that was great. Never again. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I considered moving your camera. If you've noticed, you're kind of off center. I honestly kept it that way on purpose because I want to see Luna on the pillow. I don't want to cut her off at all. So there she is.
It's kind of. Is it
there
backwards?
you go.
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
Go back. There we go. A little video exclusive here. But yeah. So tonight's show is gonna be about. By the way, Drip is fired as always. But tonight's show is gonna be about the Switch 2 price increases potentially. We don't know yet; it's not official. But there's a Bloomberg article I'm going to reference and talk about a little bit. Pocopia. I like to be punished. Maybe I should try BDSM sometime because I just love to be beat up. And we're gonna talk about some Pocopia for a minute, and then we're gonna finish up with the direct prediction that happened. Or was it a leak? Or was it a rumor? Who knows what it actually was? But what it turned out to be was nada. Absolutely nothing. So that's what that's the structure of the show. But first thing, I guess I'll mention this on the audio side is why I mentioned the pre-show. Just want to say real quick is that you guys know there's a lot of life changes happening with me. I'm getting married really soon. Just got a new job, etc. So the new night of the podcast might be Thursday. I cannot confirm it 100% yet. I will confirm it next week, potentially on the Thursday. It can't be confirmed yet because my job has yet to give me exactly what my schedule is going to be moving forward. So once they do that, it should be on Monday. Once they do that, I will inform you guys on the Discord or on the audio or on the video feed, the community tab on YouTube. So just stay tuned for the show is probably changing nights and it might be Thursday, but I don't know. Nothing is known yet, but I just want to mention that real quick before we do anything else. And now I've done that. So thank you for my TED Talk. Switch to price increase. Jeff, I know oh my God, Geeb stance? I know Drift's stance on it. What is your stance on the price increase? How likely it is, before we talk about the Bloomberg stuff and everything, like how do you feel about this happening on a scale of, I don't know, give me a 1 to 10 scale or something?
I'm not exactly sure what number to give it. Like,
Yeah,
you're talking about like a likelihood?
Yeah, like a likelihood of it happening this year, we'll say.
So it's tough because Nintendo's history, a lot of it has been when there's like hardship, they'll step in and do something that like other companies don't really do. And so you think maybe they might say, we're going to keep it the same because we think the price point is good for what it is worth. And then we don't want to burden the customer that might want to get one now that it's been out for a while with having to be more expensive, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of a newer Nintendo, right? A lot of people who are higher up are now they're business people. They're not like the same people. So they might think the same way that like Microsoft does, where they're like, well, our Xbox is now worth $1,000 for the same thing that came out 5 years ago. So Nintendo might say, well, everything's expensive, so our thing has to be more expensive. So it is hard because they do have, like I said, they do have a history of stepping in and saying, we want to do right by the company, by the consumer. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50 for me. It depends.
Yeah, honestly, I lean toward the, closer to 10. If I had to give a number on it, which means nothing, but just for funsies, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 likelihood it happens this year. Not really changed. Like I know Drip and I talked about this a few weeks ago on the show. It's not like I just decided to put a number on it this week. It hasn't really changed. I don't think it's any more or less likely than it was a couple weeks ago. I can't say Bloomberg tonight. I just said it though. When I don't need to say it is when I can say it. This Bloomberg article.
I have the same problem.
Yeah, this Bloomberg article doesn't really sway me in either direction. I kind of think it's actually a little bullshit, if I'm being honest. But yeah, 7 out of 10 seems like it's probably going to happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't, because there's a nice little 30% room of error that it might not actually happen for all the same reasons we were talking about in the show. But this Bloomberg article, I'm not linking it because it's a paid thing. I didn't read it because I can't read it because I didn't pay for it, and I don't think you guys really need to open it and read it either. I got the link from a Nintendo Life article, which maybe I'll link that, but I don't have the link with me at the moment. But there's like a quote in it, and the quote says, "People familiar with its plans." That's their source. Like normally when you give a source, it might be something a little better than that in terms of like. I know you can't really name your source because sources are not anonymous, but they just said people familiar with its plans. Now, I would have rather them say like a business person at Nintendo or, the CEO or, someone close to the CEO. Like just like that is more helpful. It still could be a lie, but it's more helpful to give me where it came from. But instead they're just going, people familiar. Well, I'm familiar with its plans as much as someone else, but who is really familiar with it is the people who work in there. So, but you're not saying someone who works there. You're saying people. Like all I'm saying is that's a weak source. It's a weak source to make a big deal out of this.
I don't mean to like hate on Bloomberg, but a lot of these big news places like that's what they want you to see the headline. They're like, oh, sources say Nintendo price raise likely. they don't expect you to actually start reading it. What they actually expect you to do is go to the website, see that you have to pay for it, and then say, well, I guess it's true, and then leave. And then you'll read an article like Nintendo Life writes on it. And it's, yeah, you kind of look in the details and you're like, yeah, that's weird. It's like a guy that heard a dog bark behind Nintendo in Tokyo 9 years ago thinks that. It's like, no, like let's, how about if you don't have anything to say that somebody close to it like has said, like, let's not write whole articles and load it with ads and make you pay for it.
Sources
Like,
are telling
it's
me,
just
Jeff, that Uncle Geeb is going to take shit later. You know, that
sources real close.
sources real close to Uncle Geeb suggest that he might be taking a nice big doo doo after the show. I cannot confirm. I have to speak with his sources. However, I feel it likely. So also in this Bloomberg, I don't even want to mention their name again, to be honest. So I won't. Also in this article, yeah,
Yep.
I don't want to mention Bloomberg because I'm not going to mention Bloomberg. So in this Bloomberg, that I'm not mentioning again, apparently, and this is other information I've heard elsewhere too, that's why I want to bring it up. Sony is reportedly delaying its hardware. We've seen that everywhere. That title has been everywhere on the internet. I tend to believe that more than anything. I've not heard your take on any of this with Sony, so I want to hear what you have to say about. Because by the way, before you do, we know Xbox is likely to announce something in the next couple of years. They're not seemingly going to wait, is what some rumors are suggesting, until that changes too. But Sony apparently will be waiting. So what is your take on this?
I think it makes a lot of sense, especially for Sony. Most people, so I've heard this plenty of other places where some developers are still releasing PlayStation 4 versions of games. So why do we need a PlayStation 6, right? So like, it's with the way things happened with the crossing from that generation to this generation. There was such a huge gap, especially for Xbox, where for years games were developed for both. We still see the games developed for both. So why do we need a new one? Also, like, because of all these things, the new one's gonna be so expensive that no one's gonna want to buy it. Sony already has a more powerful Pro console. So if someone wants more power, they could buy the Pro console.
Yeah.
Right. And so what are you gonna do? You're gonna have the Pro console at, I think it's like $800. You're gonna release a PlayStation 6 at 1,000, or are you gonna lower the price of the Pro console?
That is a very interesting question. You know, it's a valid question, valid concern. I tend to think that in a regular situation, they wouldn't do that. They would just lower the prices of the old consoles, keep them available, and make the new price point going forward that 800, 700 ballpark going forward. Like, it's still a raise in price. It's a $200 at least increase of the standard price of last gen, being the PS5. But not, I don't think they're going to go $200 above the PS5 Pro. That would be a stretch. However, that's in a normal situation. RAMageddon is not normal. The AI bubble that's currently happening is not normal. On top of the fact that the behavior in the industry has already not been normal before RAMageddon. The fact that consoles have been going up in price and not down has already been an abnormal situation. And now on top of that, we have this RAM issue that's bleeding into just all of memory in general. We are in the wild, wild west era of technology in our history. Anything can happen at any time, and most of it's bad.
Like back in 2020, 2021, if you remember, there was a huge chip shortage. A lot to do with COVID, and also a lot to do with, there was some environmental stuff. Like, I want to say a couple factories in China got flooded by like some kind of like storm or something. So like a number of things caused a huge chip shortage. If you remember hearing about entire parking lots full of Ford trucks, they're just sitting there because they don't have a computer, because they couldn't get the microchips for them, right? So they built these trucks, but they don't have the computer that the truck is useless without, right?
Right.
And I remember that's a reason why I bought a Mac Mini, is because the Mac Mini was selling, I think the original one sold for $700, and I was originally going to build a gaming PC, but at the time, the best you could do for around that price range was 10-year-old hardware because all the stuff was being bought out because there was none extra was being made. So I could get a, was it like a Core i5, like second gen? We're on like 14 now. So like second gen was like for like a long time ago. And I was like, I'm not going to spend money on that. And so that same thing is happening now where all these components are being bought up. Companies like Micron they're stopping their retail relationships. They're only making RAM for these AI companies. And so it sucks. There is a light at the end of the tunnel though, because there's a lot of news about companies stopping support. They're stopping their investments to OpenAI because OpenAI keeps asking for more money. They're like, we need more money to operate because they're bleeding money. They spend way more money than they pull in, and these other companies they're going to be doing the same thing. So it's hopefully we'll see an end of this, but I really hope that the end of it is not a bubble bursting that puts us into a huge recession and that makes everything even more expensive. And now I'm talking about everything that's not even computer stuff, like everything.
I guess I haven't been an adult long enough, I suppose, or what it is. What makes this climate we live in now not a recession, and what would happen in a real recession? Like, I was too young in 2008 to understand the recession. I was still in middle school and going to high school. That I wasn't old enough to appreciate or understand what was going on in its entirety. And my entire adult life, essentially, like since I've been seems like 25 and up, it's been a bunch of this is not normal, guys. This is not normal. Everything has been, this is not normal. This is my normal. This is my normal since I've been, participating adult in society, essentially. It just seems like this is a recession, whatever a recession is. It seems we're not going to get into that now because this is not that type of show. If you want to tell me in the comments how stupid I am for not knowing these things, feel free. I just feel like we've been getting dunked on by society for the past 7 years. And it's like, well, how could it get any worse? I will say this though, there is other countries who listen to the show too. I know there's other places that are way worse than this. I just want to make that very clear. We're not, America sucks right now, but it's not nearly as bad as other places at their worst. So, I'm not gonna act like I'm in, a bad situation. It's not that bad. We're gonna make it just fine here. It's just a matter of how much can we tolerate, in our very rich society. So anyway.
Yeah, to add to that, for context, we are people making a podcast talking about how we're sad that our electronic toys might be more expensive. So I'm sorry to anyone out there that's like, I chose listening to this podcast over eating today. I'm very sorry that you chose our podcast.
It's not even your show. I apologize.
Yeah. I'm very sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be like, I was kind of kidding, but to be serious, we're talking about electronic toys, and
at the end of the day,
it could be.
Although
it could be way worse.
It is. It bleeds into everything else too. It's not just our toys. Like it does.
Sure.
So but even still, it's not as bad as having to choose whether you need to eat or not today. And that happens in America too. But again, we're not, maybe one day I'll do a political podcast. This is not going to be that. Right now, let's talk about, I'm going to continue the Sony thing for another minute or two. I think it's a smart idea from a business perspective. I think it's a smart idea for the consumer perspective. I think it's a smart idea for your company image, to wait. All of that to wait.
Yeah.
2029, that sounds a little bit far away. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I guess it's only 3 years from now. But I have a theory too. That it seems like the overall consensus online is that they want to wait. That no one I've seen is breaking down walls going, I want the new system. I'm tired of this gen. I have not seen any of that discourse happening. And my theory of why, could be my bubble, but my theory of why is that a lot of people only got their PS5 in the last couple years.
Yeah.
We had the chip shortage, as you mentioned earlier. I know I'm one of those people who just couldn't afford one in 2020 when it dropped. And then for retail, let alone the fact that after, like, the retail price was out of the window, out of the water, and, you know, then suddenly it was $1,500. I mean, I couldn't afford that, of course, either. I got a good deal by a friend in 2023 or 2024. I got a good deal from a friend, like, so 4 years after it dropped. And I binged a lot of Sony games, and it was actually a good thing because those games were cheap. You know what I mean? I got them all like more than half the price, so it was actually perfect. I got the console at $300. I got the games for like $30 or less. It was actually perfect, honestly. But my theory is that I don't think I'm alone in that. That there's a lot of people like me who got a PS5 and are like, I don't want to spend more money on a new console, on top of the fact that I just bought this thing. But on top of that, this thing is fine. Like, it's great, actually. I mean, it's really great. You know, I love Nintendo. We did the Nintendo show. I think the Switch 2 is my favorite console of all time, passing the Switch 1 only because it's a better Switch 1. It's a given, right? I don't think it's a hot take to say the Switch 2 is my favorite because it's better than the Switch 1. It is. It just is, right? But the PS5 might be the best console I've ever used. All better than any benefit of the Switch 2. I mean, yes, it has docked and handheld, but like, it's affordable. So you get a good deal on it. You can get good deals on it now. I mean, you couldn't a couple of years ago, or a few years ago, but you can now for sure. Although I say that in the middle of RAMageddon, so maybe not. But you know, you can get a good deal on it. You can pay way less than retail. The games are super cheap compared to Nintendo, especially. But just they're affordable games. Like, nothing. You can get a good game like with the Spider-Man stuff. You can get the whole trilogy for fucking $60. Like, that's a hell of a deal. Yeah, I mean, all that to say, people don't need a new one, and nor do people want one. It seems to me, I don't think people want or need a new one, and that's RAMageddon aside. So, because of RAMageddon, I do think Sony is not going to put one out. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think I need Bloomberg. I know I wouldn't say their name again, but I don't think I need them, Bloomberg, to tell me Lumberg. What's this office space name? Lumberg, or is it Lumberg?
Yeah, I think it was Lumberg.
Lumberg. I don't need him to tell me.
Coming on Sunday.
What is? What is something?
It's office space, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you come in on Saturday?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to come in on Sunday as well.
You know, where's my stapler? Can I need my stapler? I want to go down the basement. I'm gonna need my stapler. Guys, if you haven't seen Office Space, go watch it right now. It's great. Turn the show off. Go watch Office Space. I won't be mad. Okay, let's get off of that. Well, I guess let's put the bow on it, tie it back around to Switch 2. Price increase is likely. I hate to say it. There's still a chance, though, that they could just increase the price of things like the online service. Unfortunately, the video games themselves could get a price increase. I feel like that makes more sense if I was Nintendo. But does it hurt your image too much? Because it's like, yeah, you didn't raise the console price, but now your games cost more. You're gonna get slammed online for that. You already do, and it's misinformation as it is. But then you're gonna make it true. But the online thing is certainly something. I predicted that before Switch 2 came out, and I was wrong. I thought it was a given that the online was going to be raised in price this gen, period. I thought GameCube was going to be added to its own tier. But they added on top, you know, they have the 3 tiers right now, the base, or is it 2 tiers? I don't know. But, I thought they're going to add its own tier where it's a little bit more money to get GameCube in addition to everything else. They didn't do that. So and on top of the fact that I thought there was a price increase. So I think they should do a price increase on online. It's the best deal in gaming. I still stand. They said Game Pass was. Maybe Game Pass was for a few months, but it's no longer the case. I think Nintendo Switch Online, if you like Nintendo, is the best deal in gaming. It's $30 for the base, get a whole bunch of games. It's $50 if you want more games, and it's $75 or $80. What is it for the family plan where you can share with 10 people all those games, and your online is included in it. Obviously, it's the online service. I mean, $80 a year? That's the worst case. I mean, my fucking Sony cost me $20 a month, $18 a month.
Oof, yeah.
Like in 6 months, I just spent a whole year of Nintendo, and I still got that's twice the price. If we're counting at home, that's twice the price. But that's just for one person for Sony. You know what I mean? Like this is 10 people for Nintendo. $50 for a year. That's 2.5 months on Sony's online service, and then it'll give you a tenth of the games that Nintendo gives you. I don't know, man. I think it's a great deal, and if they rose it to $100 for a family, $80 for the individual expansion, and $50 for that's like what we're talking, like a 25% increase in price, which is a hefty increase, but in reality, it's not too much more money. You know, a $20, $30 increase for a year, not too bad. It could be a lot worse. It could be $50 per console. So, you know, that doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts on that before we change up the subject?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say if Nintendo will find value in adding an increase in the price of this online service or the expansion packs, where what is really like is actually hurting is the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like they subsidize some of the price for like the hardware because they're selling you software. But it's like it's business is weird, right? The hardware they sell you is like technically different, like or from the part of the organization as the software. So if they think that the hardware is going to be so expensive that they need to make more money, it's very likely that the hardware is going to go up in price, not software. I don't think they would raise the price of games because, I mean, that's what I'll say. I I hope that the executives in Nintendo are smart enough to realize that when they put Mario Kart Mario Kart World at $80, they got a lot of backlash, and to then change the pricing of a bunch of their games at $80 to off put the price of hardware being more expensive. That's probably a bad move. I think raising the price of hardware is probably the least negatively impactful thing to the business that they could do.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I'm just coming up with alternatives. Like I don't think it's necessarily more likely that NSL is going to get more price increase, but I'm just thinking of like what can they do outside of that? You know, assuming that the console increase is the last option. But maybe not. Maybe that would be their option before something like increase in NSO. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they continue to add consoles to it, NSO and stuff. So as they continue to add consoles and add more games, they could justify saying, "Hey, we're going to raise the price of Social Online, the base one, and the expansion pass, because we think that the amount of things that we have now and the amount of things that we have planned would justify the money. We'd be able to take that money and give you even more stuff. Hopefully that would be the case, you know, but you know, that would be a great avenue, but I don't know. We'll see.
Because like I think that the consensus online is that it's going to be $50 increase. It's going to go to $499 and then $500 or $499 for the console. It's $500. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's necessarily what's going to happen. If they're going to raise the price, I don't think they're going to go big. I don't think they're going to go small. I think because we're talking about unprecedented things. RAMageddon's unprecedented. So like, they can always bring it back down too. It's not like they raise the price and that's it. NSO less likely when they raise the price on that, it's probably going to stay that way. But like console, I mean, I see them raising it like $100 when they decide to do it. I think it easily could be $549. That's the price of the PS5. They're not going above that either. So like they can say they're not more expensive than the competition. They're right on par. With $100 increase, I mean, like I just don't want to see that. I want to be wrong about that, but $50 seems a little bit low. If they're going to do it, they should go big. It just makes more sense from a business perspective, and then lower it back down when things calm down. Because like remember the days they used to do that? Remember the days the brands used to lower their prices? It seems unheard of now, but that used to happen. So I feel like we can get back to an age where that happens again. It doesn't have to stay this way, but TBD, Jeff. TBD.
Yeah.
Speaking of TBD, there's going to be $73.49, depending on tax taken out of my account, on February 26th, a week before the release of Pokopia on Nintendo Switch 2. That's right, folks. I pre-ordered it. I wish I had a boo button. Boo. Throw your tomatoes at me.
Boo.
I gotta be honest. Go ahead, Jeff. No, you go.
It looks adorable. I think it looks adorable. I think it looks silly, and I think it's a very unserious looking game, and I think it has charm. That's what I think.
I
And
agree.
I think if you like Animal Crossing, it's probably going to be a great experience for people who like that.
And I do like Animal Crossing. I don't love Animal Crossing. I don't live and breathe it like most diehards do, but I do like it. And I do also, unfortunately, like the Pokemon franchise. So you take the Pokemon franchise characters and likenesses and shit, and you toss that into an Animal Crossing gameplay loop, which I like that. I mean, you kind of had me from there, and I was critical at the infancy of its announcement because some of the trailer footage we saw was like 30 FPS, 1080p footage, right? They were not showing us. That was like early development footage. It was not the full frame rate resolution that it turned out to be. It's not like impressive now, but it's certainly it's 60 FPS game now. We know that, and the resolution I think is back to where we expected, around that 1440p theoretical 4K, right? So like the performance issues I've had in the back of my mind are kind of quelled now. I don't think it's a big deal. The gameplay itself, we've had some questions answered. There has been some trailers that have been put out there that I've liked what I've seen. Looks cute. It looks fun. It looks cozy. But all on top of that, folks, this is what made me put my money down. I used to play a lot of Minecraft back in the day. I don't do it much anymore. Just not something I really want to do right now. Could be the thing I want to do in the future, but I have a Minecraft background, and apparently there's this article. I don't remember who posted or whatever. It's probably not he who should not be named. But apparently, yeah. But apparently, they're gonna have Minecraft style cloud servers. So if you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically like you log in, and as a world open to your heart's content to do what you need to do in. And then at any other point, someone else who you give a code to or something like that can join, like your friends, your family, your brother, sister, cousin, whatever. You give them that code to join your lobby, basically, and they just appear. Like that's how Minecraft works, at least. They just appear in your server, and then the world is your guys' oyster. Now, I don't know if it works like that entirely. TBD, again, I'm not entirely sure how exactly, but the Minecraft style got me intrigued. Like, all right, I mean, on top of the fact that I do the show, I want to be as up to date as I can as many games as possible. I didn't buy Fever. There's games I miss out on and I avoid because I don't need to. But I feel like Pokopia might be one I need to check out. I also might like it. And anybody's wondering, I got a copy of ZA. $65 or OBO. OBO. Yeah. So I imagine, Jeff, I know you played Animal Crossing, but I don't think you're like that big on it, and this probably doesn't really intrigue you at all. I'm assuming.
My first and only Animal Crossing game was New Horizon, and for some reason that doesn't sound like the right title, but I think it is.
New Horizon. Yeah.
It's Yeah, so it was the only one I played. Technically I played a little bit of the very first one at a friend's house once, but I remember always being like, that seemed like such a cool game and wanting to play it. When it came out for Switch, I bought it. I played it like every day for a long time. I think that it's fun. It's I like the way that it kind of doesn't let you do, like, you can get addicted to it, but you can't like do so much in a day, like in a physical day, which is nice. But yeah, for me, it's I play those things for a little bit, I get hooked for a while, and then I'm,
put it away.
lose interest. But yeah, I mean, like, people love these kinds of games, and I always love seeing a new cozy, whatever life sim, whatever you want to call it, come out.
Yeah, if I'm gonna spend $70 in the game, this is my own personal rule of thumb. it varies between different genres, right? So it's not going to be the same for every genre. But a game like this,
Yeah.
if I can get 50 hours out at minimum, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it. But 50 hours means I did like it though, so I have to like it. I have to like it and play at least 50 hours, and I feel like I'll get my money out of a game like this. I think I can do that. And what I'm most intrigued by is that multiplayer. So, like, how is it going to work? Is it going to be good? I hope it is. I'm an early adopter in this, obviously. I'm not, I spend the money early, so let you guys know later. I don't really review games, but, you guys listen to the show, so I'll mention it later on if anybody cares. Because I know this is not a necessarily Pokemon friendly. It's friendly, but it's not a Pokemon-centric community, I don't think. But I'm very intrigued by this game. The multiplayer intrigues me. I want to see how it plays with Mrs. Geeb and I. That means I have to buy a second copy of the game. So please become a member of the podcast so I can afford a second copy of Pocopia. Yeah. That's all I really have to say about it. I'm excited for it, and we're not going to spend too much time for that. And shout out to Ty in the chat. Use my code Uncle G for a discount for Saturday. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate that. Got you 10% on the podcast, and then there it is, folks. There he is. I didn't mean to push that at anybody, but we got a Arizona iced tier for 17 months now from Joey Pitts. Thank you very much for becoming a member. 17 months. That's a long time support. We appreciate that. $1 a month. A can of Arizona iced tea. Drip and I split a can of Arizona iced tea for every membership that happens. So we appreciate you guys for re-upping on that very much. Very much.
How do you even put that in the chat? I don't even
I don't know. Joey, how did you do it? Let Jeff know how you did that. There's probably a way.
I've been a member for a while too.
Yeah. And I can see all you guys' name. Like I see your name right there, Jeff. I see your little iced tea can next to your name. I love to see it. Full Metal, I see yours. I see you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys know. Yeah. So I'll leave your badge up there for a couple minutes, Mr. Joey Pitts. Thank you very much. And to wrap up the show, we're gonna talk about Mr. Nash Weedle. Mr. Nash Weedle. Now, I don't want to write him off entirely yet. He could have just had the wrong week. We could still see 3D Mario this month. Is the Pokemon thing happening next week? I think it is. So it's probably not going to happen next week. So we're at this point, we're looking at early March at the earliest to see a Nintendo Direct. But at that point, he'd be wrong because it'd be out of February. I think it is safe to say Nash Weedle. That's not a button. I did that with my mouth. So I feel like that was pretty good. I'm pretty impressed by that.
You guys heard that live.
I mean, you give me a couple minutes. Let me chug a beer and eat a... Are we getting fucking bugs again? Did you see that, Jeff? Where is it?
What?
You didn't see it? Okay, you didn't see that. A fucking bug just tried to fly in my face. Remember last week I kissed a bug?
I don't think I was there for that.
Oh, you were there? Last week, a bug, these stupid flies, I don't remember their names, but they're red and black bugs. They're nasty. It landed on my fucking beer thing. Where you drink the beer. It landed on there, and I didn't see it, so I went to take a sip of beer, and it tickled my lips, and I looked down, there's a fucking fuzzy-ass bug on my fucking drink. Very mad about that. No. Sorry to those of you who listen to the show with your kids. I don't know. There's not too many of you, but some of you do. I'm sorry. Children, don't say the F-bomb that many times. But it happened, and I wasn't happy about it, but, it turned into a good moment there. I kissed a bug. And that bug almost fucking went up my nose, so I don't know where he went. I'll find him later. I'll kill him. Anyway, derailed by a bug 2 weeks in a row. Can't wait to move out of here. Last week, Nash Weedle. Wrong. He was wrong. It's not going to happen in February here. I kissed the bug and I liked it.
There was, if you I don't know if you saw it, there was someone had said that in I want to say the Australian and Finnish eShops, there was a listing for the Duskbloods game.
I did hear about that.
Souls game, having a release date of March 27th. And if that's true, it's that got taken down or whatever. All I saw was someone posting about it. But if it really did show up and get taken down, if that really is the date that Dust Blitz is releasing, then having a direct soon makes sense,
But does it?
and early March makes sense.
Would they really only give the game a 3-week lead up from announcement of date to when it comes out?
Maybe.
Would they really do that? I don't know if they would. But I did see that. I do actually think there's some validity to it. I think it either means two things, Jeff. I think it either means the direct's happening no later than, look at the calendar over here, March 4th, no later. Or it means that the direct is happening on like March 26th and they shadow dropping it. Which isn't crazy.
Maybe.
It's not crazy. However, it's almost crazy because same people from FromSoft who made the Elden Ring port we saw last year that ran like dog doo-doo. So to think that they can suddenly shadow drop, they're so confident that their new title that they can shadow drop it, I don't know. There's a third thing. Third thing is that there is a direct soon in March, and they do talk about Dust Bloods, but it's just the whole thing about the game coming out in March 27th is bullshit. I think it's a Christmas. I think it's late this year. I don't think there's any chance that we see Elden Ring or Dust Bloods prior to like September. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think both those games are going to need more time. The way that was running last year, and to see what you can do with the Switch 2, now that we've seen multiple companies put out their ports and shit. I mean, Capcom, what they're able to do alone, I mean, take notes from software. Do something like that. Do that, says the angry guy in the corner. You know,
that's that Dusk Bloods. I believe the Switch 2 exclusive, or at least in the very least,
correct.
Timed exclusive.
It's at least time.
So if it's Switch 2 exclusive, the game was designed for the system, right? Or at least with that system in mind. Whereas Elden Ring is a game that came out a while ago, and that porting games over to Switch 2 might not be like the hardest thing, but maybe they had a hard time with the way that game is. And developing a brand new game, even if you're using the same engine, but developing it with a different piece of hardware in mind, maybe that might be easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always say it's software, video games, whatever. When someone's making something like this, like you have a ton of people running tons of lines of code, and then they just jam them together and hope for the best. So you never know. Sometimes, was someone's in the interview I had with Eric, he said that every game's a miracle.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yeah, I thought that was a great quote. I thought that was a brilliant quote from your podcast. Which, by the way, you guys should all go follow Podtravania on YouTube or anywhere else on the podcasts. Great show. I was on it once. Did you know that? So Nash Weedle has got to the end of March. Says chilling hard from the chat. Then he's cooked. I would make the argument, chilling hard, that not only does he, I'm not giving him to the end of March. I'm giving him, it needs to happen fucking next week, or else then he's cooked for me. But not only that,
I don't know what he said. What exactly did he say? Because I'm not sure.
There's three big things. Three big things that Nash Weedle said. The first big thing is that there's going to be a 3D Mario game in a direct that comes out next week, which next week means this week, which obviously, no 3D Mario, no direct. Other thing said, which we haven't said yet in this show, is there's going to be a shadow drop of a 2D God of War game that comes out on that was announced at the PlayStation Direct that comes out on Twitch 2 as well. So partially true. He was right about a 2D God of War game, which is weird, and clearly he had some good information, because that's out of left field. God of War is not a 2D game. So the fact that he got that right, and it was shadow dropped, he got that right too. That's very interesting. But he did not get the Switch 2 thing. But he does have time for that, because, okay, it wasn't shadow dropped on Switch 2, but it still could come to Switch 2. Maybe just we're waiting for the next direct. Maybe Nintendo wants them to announce that and release it at the next direct. That's very possible. But I think he's cooked. Where he's cooked for me, because obviously we're getting it direct next month. There's no chance that Nintendo goes January, February, and March without a Nintendo Direct. No chance. 0% chance. I think 100% chance we're getting a March Direct. It's now confirmed for me. I don't have sources. I just got some knowledge. All right? Share the knowledge.
Feel it in my bones, you know.
I feel it in my bones, Jeff. But where he is cooked, absolutely cooked. He's bury dig his grave now and push him in when it's wrong. The 3D Mario thing. That's where he's putting his reputation on the line. Getting the week of the Direct wrong, we all get it wrong sometimes. So, like, that's fine. Because that implies that there is a Direct soon anyway. Whatever. The 3D Mario thing is the big thing. If he gets that wrong, I mean, he pushed all of his chips in. I don't play poker. I don't know what that means exactly, but I know that means that you're betting it all that 3D Mario is coming out. And if you lose it all. And in this case, everybody should not take this man or person credible if he gets this wrong. He's no longer credible. He is compromised, whatever. It's not. That's a big one. He insisted, it seems, that 3D Mario was going to happen. You don't say that unless you're sure. He was sure. So we got some TBDs. I mean, I gave him the pass on the date of the Direct, although not entirely. I give him like a half pass on that. Like, that still knocks it down for me a little bit. I'm still kind of mad at you, Nash, but I understand you get it wrong. It happens. Because he did get something right. He got a big thing. He got the 2D game right. I got the dog going crazy up there. He got the 2D game right for God of War and a Shadow Drop part. He just didn't get the Switch 2 thing. So that could happen next month. If that happens if we get the 3D Mario and the 2D game next month in a Direct, I think he's back. He's not cooked, but he's pretty cooked if one or both of things don't happen. So, yeah. That's that.
I'll say.
Good.
I'll say, getting the date of something like that wrong, very well could be that maybe that date was right one time.
Exactly.
Right. We'll never know that. Getting the 3D Mario part wrong that's big, because that's a big risk to say that if you don't know for absolute sure. But yeah, saying like, oh, this should be a Direct this week or whatever, and then having it not happen, it's like, well, maybe there could have been, and they decided to push it off. But
here's the thing,
Mario,
Jeff.
I think 3D Mario would be great.
Here's a hypothetical. Let's say that he gets 3D Mario wrong and we write him off. But then like 4 months from now, he leaks the name and he gets it right of the next 3D Mario game. And it's not Odyssey, because that, of course, and that's not whoever says that is not leaking anything. They're guessing. I promise you that. But you know, let's say he leaks in a few months the name of the 3D Mario's Forgetti. Mario Forgetti.
Oh no, Mario
Forgetti.
80 years old and he has Alzheimer's. He doesn't remember.
The next 3D Mario game is going to be Mario Forgetti. And let's say he nails that. All that tells me is that we can't trust any leakers, even Nate. And it's not because I think Nate's a bad guy and I think he's wrong. It's that sometimes they get good information and sometimes they get bad information, no matter the leaker. A la, where the fuck is Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, Nate? Where is it? You're a good leaker. You get good information all the time, but you got bad information then. So what makes me want to trust you for the next time? And it's not personal. So Nash Weedle, if you get it right, it's a theory. It's a hypothetical. But if it does happen, it doesn't make me think, oh, Nash Weedle's credible. Yo, Nash, we can trust Nash Weedle again. Let's make 14 YouTube videos in 13 days about how Nash Weedle got it right. And then I said it the week before, so I'm cool too. And you should listen to me. Like, fuck off, everybody. I'm so tired of the leaker YouTubers. You know who you are. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the leaker YouTubers. I'm tired of the leakers. Everybody shut. Anybody see Bo Burnham's Inside from 2020, whatever, 2021, 2022? He said one of the most wisest thing I've ever heard any human on earth say in my lifetime. Will everybody just shut up? Just shut the fuck up. Says the man with a Nintendo podcast. I understand. But we're just having fun here. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm a news YouTuber who's giving you news every day or a leaker. I'm not pretending. You see what you get. I'm an idiot who just yells in somebody's basement. That's what I am. Okay? I'm not pretending to be anybody. These guys out here thinking they're something. And they're not. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I'm better than them. I just think they need to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Jeff, thank you so much for being on the show this week. I really appreciate it. You saved my ass. Jeff, Drip was not available tonight, and you filled in, and you did a great job as always. If everyone does not subscribe to Pod Troidvania and Jeff Troidvania as well, both of those links will be down below. Please subscribe to both of those. They're good on the audio side, YouTube, wherever you want to listen and watch a show. Do it. Pod Troidvania. Hey, did you know I was a guest on that show once? You should listen to it. It's great.
I heard that somewhere.
Or as let's wrap up the show with this. Or as Billy Madison once said, to today, Junior. That's my best impression. Okay. Thank you, Megaway, for the link there. Appreciate that. Guys, we're gonna do a couple minute, a real quick after show, nothing long. But the rest of you guys who are on audio platforms or watching us on YouTube after the fact, we appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next week.
See ya.
It's the after show. Jeff can't hear it, but I got the music. I got the Wii Shop music, as I call it. I think it's called the Wii eShop music. Is that what not Wii Shop?
Yeah, sure.
All right. I call it the Wii Shop music. It's great music. It's lovely little elevator music style music. Perfect for our little after show. Appreciate you guys being here, chilling hard. Appreciate you, Joey Pitts, Full Metal, Mega Boyd, Ty. Looking for other names. Ed Chang for the beer of the week. Spartan was here. What's up, man? Oh, any bugs there today? I think that's what Spartan was what he was talking about. I think the bug, because last week I kissed a bug, and then yes, Spartan. An hour later, yes, there was a bug. Tried to fling it in my face. And of course, Jeff, thank you for being here too. It's really nice of you to fill in short notice. You're the man.
Thank you. I actually didn't know. I didn't realize that you were asking me because Drip wasn't there. When I joined the Discord and it was just you and I, I'm like, oh, okay. Not that it's a problem, but it was just funny because I thought it was gonna be 3.
Oh,
but,
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But like I said, I do want to. I've been. I don't know when I want to do the show. I wanted to do it sooner, but there's just a lot going on right now. But I want to talk about the Steam Machine and their comments that they made. You know how they're like I don't know. I want to talk about that, and that'll be a 3 person. We'll do that for sure. Get you on proper, but yeah, it was just filling tonight. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
No, it's okay. I always like being on the show. It's always a good time. I'm Steam Machine man. I've been for the podcast. I've been emailing. I've just been cold call, firing off emails, right? Like, what am I gonna lose, right? So I emailed it's this guy. I don't know if you've seen the channel Deck Ready. This guy Jimmy Champagne. His whole channel is about the Steam Deck and Steam hardware. So I if you go into a channel's profile and you see the stuff that you write about the channel, if you set an email address, you can click on there and get what people's emails are to contact them. And so I've been emailing people like, hey, would you like to be on the show? Would you like to be on the show? Yeah. So far, no one's really responded to me. Yeah. But I emailed Markiplier the other day.
Oh yeah, Markiplier.
I'm like, hey, you know what? In my mind, Markiplier's got tons of followers, right? He's also really cool. I think he'd be a really cool guest. I think he'd have especially since he made that movie, right? That's a great thing, So
yeah, it's something. Yeah, I mean, you have a guest centric show, so obviously you need guests to do a guest centric show. Right. But for us, we're not. But the reason we even met you in the first place through Johnny was the fact that we were trying to get more guests on the show. We did that for like that year and then the year after, but we really didn't got too many guests after that. The last couple of years we've been kind of dry with finding new people. Not because I haven't been getting luck, I just haven't been asking anybody. So like I probably should go back to asking people, get some new people on the show. I gotta be honest, I'm not gonna name names or anything like that, obviously, but like I not to say I've been burned is a stretch. Some cases I have, but like I haven't. Not everybody's as nice as Jeff, guys, or like Johnny, or Cheesy, or forgive me for not saying your name if I can't think of your name at the moment. Sergio is fucking awesome, and others. And I'm not gonna. I don't want to. I forget because I forget, not because they're not important. But and others we've had on the show. Not everybody's as cool as these guys, and it's really hard to find people who are cool. And there's a lot of people who aren't so cool, even if they portray it on their internet social media platforms.
I'm not gonna say name, but there was that one guy that you were messaging me about that had like basically.
I'll fucking say his name. Hold on, where's this number? We've been removed far enough. Let me go to my Blue Sky messages if it's still there. I think I blocked him.
So yeah, she was like, "Oh, I think you're a great content creator. I'd love to have you on the podcast as a guest." Blah blah blah, and the dude like attacked him, and she was just like, all right, because I think it was because you made a video that you posted on this channel where you talked about it. Tariffs just had become a thing.
Yeah. So that guy
on it, and you kind of like describe what the tariffs are and what's happening,
right?
But you didn't say like one thing or another. You just talked about the
I tried to remain partisan. It's a very political thing about video games, and I just tried to remain partisan, and the focus was that I was sad, not about politics. I was just sad about my game console. It's literally what it was about. I watched watch the video if you want to get the full scope if you haven't seen it already. But like it was a silly thing, and I even say that I'm like, this is a silly thing to be sad about. But I'm just gonna be honest, we've been so excited for this for a couple of years, and we're not gonna get it when we think maybe blah, 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 blah. So yeah. But yeah, that guy's a fucking dick. I can't find his name on here. I would say it now. It's been long enough to let I wasn't gonna say it when it happened, but I'll say it now. But I just don't know what his name is. He was just a fucking dick. He's like, you're just as bad as he is, politician who's currently in charge of the United States of America. You're just as bad as he is. And I'm like, I'm what now? Like you're a fascist. I was called a fascist.
Oh yeah, he was basically like, oh, you didn't immediately and only speak out against fascists in that video, so you are a fascist. It's like, brother, what? Like
we're talking about video games, man.
Saying how sad you are that the price of your video game console that you're excited to buy is gonna be more expensive or less expensive or whatever. Like no, not less, but more expensive, and you don't want that to happen. Like I'm sorry,
or delayed, That was the real scares that they said was going to delay. That was my real fear, right? That they were just going to just not put it out.
I guess every video from now on, I'm going to start the video by saying, I need everyone to know I hate fascists, and so that no one will ever no one will be worried. They're like, oh, I wonder if this guy hates. They'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't have to wonder if this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, since that happened, I'll admit it. I have actually been a lot looser lipped with things that has had an impact on me. I have decided to be looser lipped on things than I previously was, because COVID, things were so tumultuous, and like I just wouldn't want to be feeding into that. However, the reason I've changed my tune is that, pretty obvious why. I don't really want to get into it right now, because I don't want to. But, I don't like fascism. I'll say it now. I didn't say it before. I didn't think I needed to, but, I don't like it. There. I think I was going somewhere, but I forget where I was going. But I'll just end it with that. I don't like fascism.
No.
And there is some right now. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I don't think that's a hot take either, Jeff. There's some happening right now, and I don't like it. We'll leave it there. But yeah, no, that did change me. It not that I think he was right. He was fucking dead wrong about everything. But it did make me want to like speak out more just because like things are bad, you know. I don't like broccoli.
Joey, I think broccoli's good.
I actually love broccoli. I love it raw dog. I love it steamed.
Oh,
steam my dog.
buddy.
Steam my. I love it all, man. I just had a steamed dog today. I put it in the microwave and it steamed it in its own juice. It was great. But not broccoli. Hot dog. That make it awkward enough? Okay, guys, thank you for being here tonight. Brother, what?
Brother, what?
We do need that clip. That was great. I don't make clips anymore. I'm retired, so you do it. Only thing I like raw. What is it, Joey? Tell me. Go on. Oh, okay. Cookie dough. I don't like raw cookie dough because I don't like salmonella. Mm-mm. I don't, you know, Jeff. Just like fat. I don't like fascism. I think it's safe to say. Go ahead. Sorry.
To be fair, the likelihood of getting salmonella from raw cookie dough because of the eggs is actually not that high. So you'll be fine.
I'm not
gonna
like
an entire like log of it or something.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say that. I've never eaten raw cookie dough because I think it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. I've eaten raw cookie dough. I've like the spoon. Like I'm not crazy. It's delicious. It's way better than that fake shit. But like where I see a problem is people like my fiance, my wife to be, and she like sees a bowl of like her dad makes cookies. He makes wonderful cookies, and she gets in there. And she like basically fucking whole hands it and shoves it in her mouth like raw. I'm like, girl, don't do that. Like you can lick the spoon, all right. But like, don't be like going back in for seconds, thirds, fourths, tenths. Like, relax. Like, don't do that. It's not worth the risk. It's just not. All right, Mega Boy. All right, we got the anecdotal guy over here. I've been eating raw cookie dough for 40 years, and I've never gotten salmonella. All right, Mega Boy. I'm sorry. Let me get off your lawn real quick. Let me just slowly walk backwards off your lawn that I freshly cut, by the way. Can't wait to do that. Oh man, you know, this is the last thing I'll say before we get off here. Completely irrelevant to anything we're talking about. I've always wanted to do like a political podcast. I really have, because I feel like there's things I have to say that people should hear. But at the same time, it's like the reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm like, no one wants to hear me yell about politics. Like, nobody wants. Like I said, Jeff, everybody needs to shut the fuck up. And I'm not going to be another guy who needs to, like, you know, I don't want to live long enough to be the villain, right? Let me die first. I'm not trying to start a political podcast. The day that I do that, because I legitimately want to do it, but the day that I do it is when it's over for me, guys. It's over. Once I do it, there's no turning back. I'm done. Like, I'm dead. I'm essentially dead. So, yeah. Bro, never met anyone else that got it either. All right, fine, Meg. Yeah, your little bubble. We can go on with this little bit, Mega Boy. In your little bubble of anecdotalness, no one's ever gone. I've never seen a. I don't know. I got nothing good. Anyway. I'm just messing with Mega Boy. That's payback earlier for making me think that something's wrong with Jeff, and I got really scared, so there's payback. All right, let's get off here. Jeff, again, appreciate you, man. Guys, go follow Jeff's links in the description. And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully on either Wednesday or Thursday. But it could be any day next week. I really don't know. So we will see. Later.